It's real breakfast hours. Eat breakfast if you up. Today's breakfast is...
Well, we really had the same thing pretty much. We had some scrambled eggs and hash brown. I had some ketchup with my hash brown.
Yeah, and then I had a cup of orange juice.
Welcome back.
Episode 13. I'm not even going to bother trying to do that with my hands. It's
Oh,
unnecessary.
you've already given up on that, huh?
Well, why? Should I at least go into the 20s?
No, it's okay.
10, 13. Close enough.
Hang loose?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to turn this on Do Not Disturb.
That's an age.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No manners.
Sorry.
Mine was already on silent.
Okay. Alright. Well, we're back for number 13.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's funny, like, we go 1 week, but it feels like ages, doesn't it?
It does.
Doesn't
So
it,
I think
folks?
we had also taken a break because it had been... We skipped a week, made an episode, then skipped another week, and now here we are.
Yeah.
So we've only made like one episode in the last 3 weeks, so it does feel like a while.
It does.
But we're back.
But we're back, and we should hopefully be back to our weekly schedule now, because I'm on break. Although, maybe not.
No.
We're going home for
Yes.
going to your birthday party.
Next Saturday is my 25th birthday.
Should we do your house real breakfast hours edition?
House. No.
He said, I don't.
It's not my house, it's my parents' house. We literally live together. It's not my house.
Okay, your parents' house edition real breakfast hours?
I don't know. That might be wacky. It might be a little too wacky.
A little too wacky.
A little too crazy.
We could have a... Sorry, he just adjusted.
The cat is in the windowsill right now, which I took a picture of.
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna try and get...
Are you gonna try to snipe him or something?
I
right
did have... There's like a little clip from before, but I'll get the cat view. The cat cam.
now? That would actually be a hilarious implementation if we could have another camera set up on maybe his scratch house or something, or wherever he's resting, and just have a little picture-in-picture in the bottom left corner of the cat.
See, that's like... Simply Now Logical, they made like Simply Pod Logical, I think. So her and Ben, they have a podcast, and I think sometimes they do have a cat cam because they have 2 cats.
Mm-hmm.
And like, well, sometimes they'll like jump up on the table and stuff, but other times I think they just have them in their little beds, and it's so cute. And I want that for Rob.
Yes, though it's sometimes he's good about just sitting in one place. Like right now, he probably won't leave that windowsill for a little while. Other times, he's running around the house. He was making a nuisance of himself last week. I gave him breakfast, and then I guess he got the zoomies or something because he was flying around the house. He was moving so fast, I saw him like come around the corner and slam into the wall because he didn't brake hard enough, I guess. Dude needs to get his brakes checked, or just slow down, I guess. But he's very cute. He's doing a good job sitting in the window, catching all that sun.
He's breathing real hard right now. I wonder if there's an animal outside.
He's probably eyeballing a squirrel and hyperventilating because he wants some.
And there's like squirrels, and then I think right in front of the window there's like, I don't know, do groundhogs have dens like that they go underground?
I believe so. That's why they're called groundhogs.
Well, I know they live, but is it called a den, like their little
Or a
house?
burrow, maybe.
Or a burrow. Well, whatever it is, I think there's one right in front of this window that he's sitting in. And so they come out sometimes, so it could be that, or it could just be, squirrel, chipmunk, bird. Oh no, he's moving.
Oh, he's moving. Maybe he's just readjusting.
Oh
He's
God,
backing up. He threw it in reverse.
I wish I had that on the cat cam. I can't believe he just did that. Oh no.
He was over there like.
Oh shoot.
He literally he did a K-turn just now. He's like one of those.
Just to get back in the same exact spot.
Yeah, he turned completely around. Like he took 3 steps back, looking over his shoulder, and then he turned around, and then he did it again to turn around a second time to end up in the exact place he was initially.
He thought maybe it'd be better if he looked the other way, and then he realized, no, I like this spot better.
Yeah, I don't know. He's very silly. Let's see. What else? What's poppin'?
Hold on. I'm just talking like, so maybe not one next weekend. Sorry, guys.
Oh.
But then after that, we should be able to do ones.
Yes, our regularly scheduled programming will return after my birthday.
So
Which, actually, my birthday is the thing coming up next week. But you know what happened this week? She finished her first year of medical school. And more impressively than that, in medical school, if you don't pass a test, that's not the end of the world right
That's
away.
my school. I think other schools might do it differently.
In her medical school, if you fail a test, you can retake it. They call it capping, right?
And it's only the ones at the end of the, like, we have blocks, is like the section that you go in. So there's 5 in the year. At the end, there's tests during block week, is what we call it, because we have like 6 tests in 1 week. Some of them are shorter and smaller than others, but still. Most of those you can retake if you fail. But like the ones that are in this middle of the block, you don't retake.
Yes. Well, she made it through the whole year without having to retake a single thing, which is quite the accomplishment. I know she, some of your friends were like making jokes about who the last man standing was going to be.
Yep.
I think it was you.
It's me. I mean, some of them, there was a few of us in our group at least that hadn't, and they might have not had to retake anything either, so.
Well,
One of the last men standing, I guess.
Well, either way, a certified Dubski.
That was really crazy. I feel like I have not really talked to anyone the past 3 weeks, maybe. I have so many old messages I have to reply to. So, I mean, I've had a crazy few weeks. Oh, the man? Where's grab him, if you can.
He's under your feet, you know.
Shoot, he's leaving.
Also, you may be noticing that there's a couple of cuts here and there in this one. That's because allergies are killing me. And
Yeah.
her a little bit.
A little bit. I didn't take my allergy pills last night because well, this is what I was going to say. So, a few weeks ago, I went to DC, so I was busy with that. And then I had a few tests. And then this week was the big test week. So, really, just the past 3 weeks, it's just been like no-go on socialization, pretty much. And I know, like, our friend group that we play video games with has not seen much of me in the games.
Yeah, they've been like, "Where's Michaela? We need Michaela." And I'm like, "She dead, bro."
Yeah, I was literally dead.
Yeah. I grabbed him. I don't.
Oh god, oh god.
It's hard at this angle here. There you go.
Burst. That's what you get. Okay. Oh, my parents will enjoy this.
Yeah, this is her parents' favorite part of the podcast. I don't even think they watch all the episodes. They just skim through to see if Ra's here.
So, okay, can we chill? Thank you. So, I have a lot of people that I need to reply to because I have not been super up to date on a few things. And been a little bit of a recluse. Maybe a lot of bit of a recluse.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
But last night we went out, it was Cinco de Mayo yesterday, of course, and we went out both for that and, of course, to celebrate being done my first year, because, not to get too, like, into my own details, but when I finished my test and then we had to, like, clean up in the donor lab, I called Mike and I was crying.
At work. She called me at work. She was like, "Are you busy?" And I'm like, "I can tell you need to call me. What? Give me a second." So I went and I found a second to call her.
Yeah, I was kind of lonely feeling because I know a lot of my classmates are in these like really big friend groups, so they were all going out to do things, and I knew that, and I felt like no one had invited me, which is like, because I'm not really in any of those big friend groups, so like it makes sense that no one had invited me, but I was a little bit like upset about it, and I just felt lonely and overwhelmed, and I was nervous that some of my tests maybe hadn't gone good. I mean, I felt like overall I did good, but some of the tests is like you can pass the whole test overall, but if you fail one of the parts of it, then you'd have to retake. I don't know if you have to retake the whole test or just the questions related to that topic, but I was nervous about that. I was like, I definitely passed the whole test, but I was worried about the individual parts basically. Like anatomy on our clinical skills one. Yeah, so we went out for that, and then right after, I just like passed out.
Yeah, we got home and I was like, "Hey, we should hang out. I don't know, maybe play some video games or something." She was like, "Sure, but let me take a little nap." You don't take a nap at 8 p.m. So she just dead.
Hey, I've taken naps at 8 p.m. before.
Because you're insane. But you were up from what, 6?
5 a.m. or like I got out of bed at 5:20, but I was mostly up at 5.
Yeah, so I mean, come on. But yeah, I mean, if you're up from 5 a.m. by 8 p.m., I mean, God forbid you take a nap then. I mean, you were out.
Plus all the stress of like not only yesterday but just the whole week because it's kind of one of those things where it just compounds.
Yes, you needed sleep, and that's what you got.
Like I feel like I probably realistically could have slept a whole day. Although I don't know, I woke up pretty good today. Although yeah, because I went to bed at like 8 last night technically if you count that. So it's been crazy, and actually I do technically still have to write a few papers that are due.
Oh my goodness. I thought we were done.
I'm just gonna do it on Monday and crank it. There's 3 like reflection papers that are like I was supposed to do like 4 paragraphs each or something. It's like 2 pages each or something. So I don't know, I'm just gonna crank it out on like Monday or Tuesday. They're due Friday, not like yesterday Friday, the next Friday, so
I see.
I didn't want to write them, and I didn't really have time to earlier. I mean, okay, I did. My original plan was to write them over spring break, and then I did not do that. So
You've had them available for that long?
technically, these papers, the events they're like about events, and they happen like throughout the year. The first one was in like September or October or something.
I see. But you know what? Realistically, I always put stuff off until the last possible time for school anyway, so it's fine.
That's what happened.
Who am I to judge?
Yeah.
I don't even have the energy to do a little silly sports intro. But the Bruins dying. I wanted to die. As like the most embarrassing choke I've ever seen in sports. That was really bad.
That's so bad.
Real bad. And it hurts my little heart to even still talk about it. I don't watch basketball really, but Celtics are still doing well. I believe they're in the playoffs currently. I really don't follow basketball much, if at all. But
devastated.
I was. It was time to get up and go to bed after the Bruins. Very wounding loss because they were winning with like 10 seconds left, and they made a little silly oopsie mistake, and now it's tied with 5 seconds left. Okay, so we're going to overtime, and then they lose in overtime. 10 seconds away from moving on and breaking the I guess they would have needed to win the Stanley Cup to break the curse, which, for those who don't know, to my understanding at least, if you are the team that comes in first place in the regular season, you win what's called the President's Cup. Nobody who wins the President's Cup ever wins the Stanley Cup, which is the championship. And
it's just like so stupid.
Happened again. It's just like it's wild that it happens. You are the best team in the regular season, right? You came in first. Everybody is expecting you to win.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, but whoever wins the Stanley Cup, like, they're not even the best team because I feel like the regular season is so much more important.
That's not how it works. It's a tournament.
But I'm sorry, but the Bruins, literally, like, we know they broke records this year. What other team did that? No one. So even if they don't win the Stanley Cup, like, whoever wins is just gonna be like, okay, how was your year though? Like
It doesn't matter. Well, your year ended with you winning the race. You know, I think personally it's stupid, especially because they lost to a freaking Florida team. Why does Florida even have hockey? It's ice hockey. There's no snow in Florida. Florida racism, right here on Real Breakfast Hours. If you're from Florida, she doesn't like it.
We already know that.
We're looking over directly at you, Grid.
We already know my thoughts on Florida.
Which, actually, so yes, I felt very personally wounded after the Bruins lost. Your take on tournament style sports is jarring, to say the least. But
it's my stance.
We have breakfasts from our friends to talk about as well, because I just name dropped one of them, but
I don't even have any.
Oh, of course you don't, because her friends don't submit their breakfast. How many times have they done that? 3 times, maybe? My boys come through weekly. Okay. First, we have a picture from
What the
Judge.
heck?
Yeah. It's just like a
A tower
stack,
of waffles.
a tower of waffles. Very good. Next, we have... Gren gave us the worst possible picture. He gave us a little descriptor of what it is. It's lightly toasted breakfast sandwiches with pork smoked sausage and beef breakfast sausage with Swiss cheese and hot sauce.
I bet that'd be good if I wasn't just looking at white bread.
Yeah, except the picture he took is like directly overhead of the... You'll see it on the screen. But I'm like, bro, that's just like 2 pieces of white bread. He's like, they're lightly toasted. I'm like, I can see that a little
barely
bit.
see the toast.
But you should have taken, when you take a picture of something like a sandwich, you have to get more of like a profile shot.
Or like cut it in half and you get the...
I have to be able to see what's inside the sandwich, not just see a couple of pieces of bread on the table. But
Thanks, Gren.
thanks, Gren. Thanks, Jugs. I'm sure your sandwich tasted great if it wasn't anything other than white bread.
So thank you for sending your breakfast.
We appreciate it, boys.
My friends send your breakfast. I know, well, to be fair, like, my school friends, we were all studying and, dealing with that, so med school friends, I guess, can get the,
No, they definitely got to be eating breakfast for medical school. Imagine you're in medical school and you skip the most important meal of the day to get your brain going.
No, but I mean, like, they might not have taken a picture because they forgot because they're so busy.
Oh, they weren't on their phones during breakfast? That's crazy.
They're studying.
Maybe.
So my friends, there's no excuse anymore. Make sure you send me your breakfast. And also my, like, undergraduate friends or just friends in general. Where's your breakfast? How do I know that you're up?
Where's your breakfast, Grandma? Let me see it.
Cheese.
Looking right into the camera. I know you eat.
Okay. Did you want to talk about the draft at all?
Oh, yeah. And then I didn't watch the NFL draft. I was doing other things. But I do know that the Patriots drafted a pretty good, I believe he's a corner. I don't watch a ton of college football, so I don't really know how good too many of these guys are. But I know that a couple of major changes for the NFL. One, Patriots got a corner. Very good. Our secondary should be very good now. Very dangerous. Good luck scoring against the Patriots, hopefully. Our offense, well, we'll see. My father is a Bears fan. He seemed very excited. They got some offensive linemen, which they have desperately needed because their quarterback constantly gets killed. That man gets hit into a car accident every Sunday. It's bad. Poor kid. Hopefully he should be able to walk a little better because his offensive lineman will not feed him to the Lions every game now. The Titans did not get rid of Derrick Henry, thank God. They did draft another quarterback who is apparently very good. I think he had some toe injury or something, so people were really talking about he got like snubbed in the first round. They're like, this guy could be a top 10 pick, and then he doesn't get drafted at all in the first round, which was a big talking point, but he did get picked up by the Titans in the second round. Hopefully he gets coached up, and then maybe next year or the year after when Tannehill maybe moves on, this guy can step up, and that'll be good. Aaron Rodgers punished Jake Gyllenhaal. Finally is gone to the Jets.
Wow.
He's gone from Green Bay. My father can dance a little jig, scream from the rooftops. The bad man is gone.
The bad man is gone.
Now, he's following in the footsteps of the great Brett Favre, who was, before Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre was the quarterback for Green Bay. Mm-hmm. The Bears have to play Green Bay multiple times a year because they're in the same division.
Oh, I see.
The Bears have been bad for 20 years. And every year it's because they play against Green Bay, who has a Hall of Fame quarterback. If it wasn't before Aaron Rodgers, it was Brett Favre, and Brett Favre used to slap the Bears around. And then when he got a little older, he went to the Jets. And then Aaron Rodgers came to Green Bay and slapped around the Bears, and now he's going to the Jets. So if history decides it wants to repeat itself and make my dad suffer more, the Green Bay Packers are going to get another Hall of Fame quarterback out of thin air somehow and slap the Bears around for another 10 years. But we'll see.
What are your predictions for this year?
Oh, I have no idea.
I have a prediction.
Oh, God.
I told you this before. Titans all the way. Super Bowl
How?
champions.
She just likes to watch the Titans because Derrick Henry's on them. And you know what? I have a Derrick Henry jersey. That guy is sick. I love watching the
You
Titans.
say
play.
how? Derrick Henry's right there.
That's true.
And I believe in Tannehill.
Good. Someone has to.
Dang, what the heck happened to the energy of all I have left is Ryan Tannehill?
That was what a couple of years ago. I'm a Patriots fan first and foremost. I don't have the Patriots mug out right now, but you've seen it if you're a longtime fan of the podcast. You've seen I have Patriots attire and cutlery, or not cutlery, glassware.
Yeah.
The cat's back. He's sipping.
Oh. Let's try.
You snipe him.
I'm trying.
He has this habit of he'll drag his water like across the floor with him. He's got a bowl with like a reservoir of water above it, and he just kind of puts his paws in the front and just pulls it across the floor. I found it in the living room once. He must have been very thirsty that day, and every time he went over for a sip, he would just pull it another couple of inches, and it just kept moving. I doubt you can hear him, but he's
Well, if
slurping.
you just be quiet.
I hope the camera just picked up the he was making
I
from
think
it.
this probably did.
Excellent. Epic win.
Big win.
But yes, I'm a Patriots fan, and obviously, as a longtime Patriots fan, that means I'm also a Tom Brady enjoyer. So when he was on Tampa Bay, I was rooting for Tampa Bay a little bit also. If it was Tampa Bay versus Patriots, I would root against Tom Brady as much as it would hurt my little heart. But I did have to do that at least once while he was there. But the Titans are like they're my actual second favorite team, right behind the Patriots, and I don't even care about the Bucs anymore because Brady's gone. But the Patriots and the Buccaneers had both been eliminated from the playoffs, so I posted a picture of James Franco from the Spider-Man movies, where he goes, "I have nothing left except Spider-Man," except I edited it to say, "I have nothing left except Ryan Tannehill. I've got no one left to root for except Ryan Tannehill." So I do like the guy. I hope.
Yeah,
he
I
does
thought that was like 2 years ago, and as soon as you got into liking the Titans and you were talking about like Ryan Tannehill and stuff, I internalized it. So now I love the Titans, and I feel like you're snubbing them.
I'm just saying. We'll see. You know what? I did not watch the draft, as I said before.
Putting it here right now. Titans win.
Oh, she's manifesting a Titans dub.
I
Let me see. Some of my friends made like a list of how good
What
they
was it
think.
I said on accident the other day that was like in 200 years? Oh yeah, I said like World
Oh,
War III.
yeah. No, it was like World War IV. She was like something. I can't believe they fought over that in World War IV. Oh no, you know what it was? It was she said something about like the Japanese committing war crimes against the Chinese in World War IV. And I was like, well, you heard it here first, folks. In 200 years after World War IV, you'll know that Michaela predicted Japanese war crimes in the Far East.
I meant to say in World War II because that was the thing that happened, but I said foreign.
Yes.
So that's 2 predictions for you.
Yes. Okay, some teams that are very obvious that you can predict are going to be good.
Yeah.
I have my friend's tier list here, which pretty good tier list. I hate to see some of these teams so low, and I think he's a Lions fan, so I think
Why
he
is the
oversold them.
Titans so low? I'm offended. Bro.
I can send this to you.
The
You can
Cowboys?
lower your voice. You're screaming into the microphone. The teams at the very top of this list are the Chiefs, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. Very self-explanatory. They did very well last year. One of them won the Super Bowl. The other one was like
The Cowboys.
borderline undefeated the whole year. The Eagles. That's something we can talk about from the draft. I know it's a long sports section, but you gotta fill time somehow. Georgia, like the College Football Association, Georgia, they're very big if you watch college football at all.
Okay.
I'm not super sure of their record, so before I misspeak, I'm going to Google their record. However, to my knowledge, they did very good. Georgia football. So Georgia won the Peach Bowl, and they came first in the SEC. Who won? Let's see.
This man is out here sipping again.
Yeah, okay. It was the Georgia Bulldogs. So Georgia won the whole thing last year. I thought so, but I wanted to look it up before I said anything wrong. Georgia was the best team in college football last year. The Eagles, everybody thought they were the best team in professional football last year. And they tripped at the finish line. They lost to the Chiefs. And our boy Patrick Mahomes. I don't know why I said our boy. I don't like him that much. But he seems like a decent enough guy, though. I think his brother just got arrested.
Jeez.
Yeah, we could talk about that later. But the Eagles drafted like 6 guys from Georgia. Like everybody who was on that winning Georgia college team that just graduated,
Yeah.
they're all in the Eagles now.
Sheesh.
So the Eagles are probably going to be gnarly this coming year again.
I see.
So they're probably my pick for the team that'll be the best.
Listen, I'm fine with the Eagles and the Chiefs being up on that list. I feel like they always are. I'm just saying, why are the Cowboys?
What do you mean
up there?
always are in your like small scope of what always is, like the last 3 years?
Like the last 5 years.
The Chiefs have been very good for that period of time. The Eagles are they have peaks,
Well, yeah.
peaks and troughs.
I just, because everyone always talks about Philly,
Because Philadelphia fans
are crazy.
are some of the most committed individuals on the planet.
So, I don't know. I'm just saying that's my take. I'm sticking with it. I'm going Titans this year. Maybe some Patriots, but I'm going Titans.
Yeah, you know what? Okay. Fine. I think the Patriots will have a better year than they did last year. Hopefully make the playoffs. We'll see. That's kind of the extent of... That's how brave I'm willing to be. We're going to have to wait and see.
And now, we're done with the sports.
Is it time for girl talk?
Because ladies, yeah.
Go on.
Well, I think people already probably know this because Swifties are crazy.
Oh, God. Let me get some more coffee
But-
for this one.
Wow. The disrespect.
In fact, disrespectfully pouring coffee nice and loud. We're cutting back in because we just had to cut out while I refilled my coffee. But I think she's about to talk about Taylor Swift, so I had to put a little extra something in my coffee. Battery died in the camera.
But it's okay. Perfect timing. Okay. Taylor Swift just announced yesterday that she is releasing Speak Now Taylor's version. If you know anything about Taylor Swift, she's been re-recording her albums because of the whole Scooter Braun thing. Some guy at the label, I don't know the full story, but I think he sold her music. Wait, actually, I'm gonna get the information because I think it's a lot of tea, and I think we could go into it.
This is about to be, this is like going to be the Hailey Bieber thing, too. Actually, I have something about Justin Bieber to contribute.
Okay. Is it related to the Hailey Swift or Hailey Bieber?
No, it's more just about Justin himself, but it's actually about his past.
Okay.
I had no idea that Justin Bieber was subject to so much disgusting physical behavior growing up famous. I saw like a compilation of a bunch of videos of these like mostly grown women really like sexualizing him like in ways that were visibly making him uncomfortable. There's like a video of him when he was like 17 of let's see if I can find it, but he was on like Ellen or something, and women in the crowd are like begging him to like get naked on stage. He's like, I have a lot of young fans, I don't think they would be okay, I don't think that would be okay, and they're like booing and stuff. But like, I just, growing up in middle school it was like fun, and in high school it was like fun to make fun of Justin Bieber because they're like, LOL, he's a loser and his music is bad, haha. It was like edgy and fun to make fun of Justin Bieber. If I knew then that he was being abused basically this way, maybe I would have been kinder to him.
Yeah.
I just know that if things like that, like, You can't walk up on stage to an 18-year-old girl and be like, and stuff like that while they're going like this. And then he literally says in the microphone, that made me uncomfortable. And people are laughing, but like you can see in his face that he's like serious that made him uncomfortable. If they did that to a female and it was a man doing that, like that would have been a big deal, you know?
Yes, but they do that all the time to females.
And they should go to jail for it.
It's like if you ever look at oh, what's her face?
But yeah, it's like gross how much that stuff happens in Hollywood and like famous people circles. How young men and women are like manhandled and sexualized by everybody around them, and they just kind of have to take it because, oh, nobody wants you to be a spoilsport, right? And if you do say something, it gets swept under the rug.
Coffee and Catholics.
A Catholic women's talk show podcast. That's this, actually.
What? Not quite.
I actually got invited to some like women in STEM thing that my job is like going to, and they were like, just FYI, and they like forwarded it to me, and I was like, I assume you don't have to be a woman to attend, which is why they sent it to me.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, like first just having it sent to me, it feels like a thing that like mostly women would attend, so I was like a little bamboozled when they sent it to me.
Drew Barrymore. I don't actually know if she has a talk show. I think she does, though.
I heard actually that she used to get mistreated.
She got mistreated so... Well, first of all, I think her mother was, like, really bad. But also, there's this clip of her as, like, a young girl on... Like, a child. On a talk show with this older guy. And, of course, like, when you're a young girl, all they do is ask you, like, oh, you have a boyfriend? Or, like, that'd be weird to you. So, actually, no, they do it to girls a lot.
I didn't say they didn't do it. I'm just saying that, like, I didn't even hear about it with Justin Bieber, whereas, like, with the Me Too and stuff, it's very, like, you hear about it a lot more now than you used to.
Yeah.
I heard James Corden's show got shut down. That's another thing we could talk about, the writing strike. Oh, yeah. One of the things I saw, James Corden, with 17-year-old Justin Bieber, was, like sniffing him, and Justin Bieber's, like, visibly uncomfortable. He's like, oh, you smell great. And he's like, how old are you? And he's like, 17. And James Corden's like, oh, crazy. I don't remember smelling that good at 17.
That's weird.
Ugh.
Yeah. I don't know. People are always weird to everyone in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Is the thing. And especially if you're under 18, people are going to be weird to
And
you.
that's why these young, famous people turn out weird when they become adults, is because they were treated weird growing up. Like, nobody's probably a bigger example of that than Michael Jackson. Oh my goodness. That guy turned out extremely weird.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the king of pop.
Which is actually, there's going to be a whole generation of really weird people because now you have the, like, family vloggers and, like, even beyond, like, just YouTube, but people on TikTok, like, constantly shoving their phone in their kid's face. So, like, they're growing up.
Everybody's going to be Michael Jackson.
On camera all the time. And then I can only imagine, like, the difference in probably the way the parents act, like, on camera versus behind the camera. Or getting their kids to be on camera. It's going to be a lot of messed up adults in, like, 10, 20 years.
You would like to think that they're, like, kind and stuff off camera, but you never know. I'm sure some of them aren't. I'm sure some of them are pleasant, but...
No, it's like I've been seeing all this, like, van life TikTok stuff. And you'll have these... It's usually actually not a van. A lot of times it's like, or I guess RV life. There'll be a whole family and they're like, yeah, we sold our house and we live in an RV and we just travel everywhere and we brought our whole family with us. But they'll have like 5 kids. And then they have these beds, like bunk beds, that it's literally like smaller than a coffin. I swear to God. They're like so short because you have to fit 3 of them because they have like a million kids. And some of the videos I've seen, some of the kids are literally just sleeping on the floor of the RV. And of course, the parents always have a like king size bed, right? They always have their own room. And then they'll say like, people will comment to be like, hey, this does not seem like a good way to like voluntarily raise your kid. Like, some people are poor and like homeless and they have to like house their kids in very like crowded conditions, but like maybe if you actually have money, this is not a way you should do it. And people will complain because of course they're also always obviously homeschooled.
Right, because how could you not be if you
How
live in
could
an
you
RV?
not be? And they're like, oh well, actually homeschooling is so much better for your kid. And people were like, okay, but what about socialization? This is the funniest part to me because they're moving all the time. So people are like, how about socialization? She's like, oh well, they make friends everywhere they go. I'm like, okay, that's not a like friend group that you grow up with. You know what I mean? And like at least if you're homeschooled but you live in the same town, like you can be friends with the neighborhood kids or whatever. So it's like it's a secure and like reliable like set of friends that you grow up with and you grow up together, versus like, okay, yes, you might make friends wherever you go, but you're there for what, probably like 2 days or maybe a week at most, I assume. That's not making friends. Like that's not what people are talking about when they're like, what about your kids' friends and stuff. Like,
Do you remember when you were little and you would go to like a McDonald's or the play place or whatever,
yeah,
and you'd meet some kid in the play place and immediately become friends? But sorry, it's 2005, and when we're going home, you're never gonna see this kid again in your life.
yeah.
That I imagine that's what it was like for the. I can't imagine that the 7-year-old is thrilled about bouncing around that much. You know, like I'm spitballing, projecting,
Yeah.
randomly assigning an age to their children, but
And that's the other thing is people love to talk about, like, people will be like, hey, that's like not a lot of space for a kid to be living their whole life in. And the other thing is like, well, the world is their background. They always say the same things, which is how you know it's kind of, I feel like, okay, if people have to really defend their lifestyle, or like, it's like a cult, right? They'll always say the same type of things. Like, any cult will say the same type of things to defend and show that it's not a cult. So, like, if you all say the same thing that, oh, well, the world is their background, or is their backyard, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, is it though? Because that's just like where everyone is, and that's still not private space for a kid. And another point that someone brought up, and yes, this is a little bit like, but like, okay, they're in an RV. What are the parents doing? Are the kids hearing? They must.
things they shouldn't be.
Yes. So like, oh my god. And why are they always like these huge families? It's never just like I have one kid or maybe two kids and we just like they always have like 5 or 6 kids. I'm like, why are you doing this? And it's like so obviously just like the parents wanted to do this. Either I think honestly they do it for the views because it's like such a niche that you can get into. And of course, like, who wouldn't want to travel places? But like, really, that's like, you think like, oh, RV life is like the epitome of like, for a family, it's just, there's no way that is a healthy way for kids to grow up.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I don't have like any issue with homeschooling. I know some very nice people, very intelligent people who are homeschooled, but that's so different than like, oh, my, like one of my parents works and the other one teaches me and my siblings, and then we hang out with the neighborhood kids and we still live in town and have a house and a backyard and stuff. Versus, like, what do the parents have jobs or they work from home and they like,
Yeah.
and you have no private space. You don't have any long-term like roots. Like you literally have no roots because you're constantly moving around. And I don't know, it seems weird. Like one of the biggest things we just both mentioned is the lack of private space. I understand that your 6-year-old doesn't need like a ton of private space, but you should still have a place that you can be alone. And then especially, God forbid, they get older. Like, what are you going to do when your kid is in high school? You have a 15-year-old daughter with no bedroom who lives out of a RV with you and all of her brothers? That sounds awful.
And that's how some of it is, because, I mean, some of the families do have, like, teenagers with them. It'll be, like, 3, like, kids that are under 8, and then, like, a teenager. And then the parents. And the teenagers in basically as small of a space as the little kids. And then, of course, always the parents have, like, a king-size bed and, like, their own, like, little space.
All right, because those RVs, they come with, like, a bedroom
Yeah.
for the person who owns the RV. And then the rest of it is, like, a living room and a kitchen and then the bathroom and the driving seat. My grandparents had an RV for a long time, and it was lovely. We went to a lot of great places, but if you're retired and choose to live out of an RV, sure, you and your wife go tool around in your RV for your retired years. Sure. You don't have 6-year-olds that you need to be feeding and clothing and caring for. Like, go have fun in your RV. You're not supposed to live out of it with 5 kids.
Yeah. It's just crazy, like, how, I don't know. It's just very off to me, and I hate it. And, yeah, sorry.
I was going to say we should circle back to Taylor Swift.
Oh.
As much as I thought maybe we could get away from
We really, yeah, anyway, so Taylor Swift, Speak Now, Taylor's version.
She's releasing her truth.
So she was signed to Big Machine Records in 2005, and her contract expired in 2018, which is I think when she started like re-recording stuff, because or no, when her deal was up, she switched to Universal's Republic Records, but Big Machine owns the masters, which is the original recordings of those first 6 albums she put out, and so, like, now, when she made a new contract with the Universal, whatever, she made sure that she has ownership of her future masters, which are the original recordings, but that other company owns the rights to her old stuff. Oh. So, they can, sell and do whatever they want with her old songs, which is why she's re-recording them, so these new re-recordings she has ownership over. Which is why she's redoing all her old albums. And, yeah, he sold her masters to another company for $300 million in 2019. And, oh, yeah. So, whenever you stream her original songs, if you were to buy them, the people who own the masters are the ones that get the money, not her. Also, that guy manages Kanye West and Justin Bieber.
Oh,
and we know the Taylor Swift drama with Kanye West. So she just did not want anything to do with it. And he seems kind of like a scummy guy. So
a lot of these, I don't know what the exact phrasing of it is, but it basically boils down to everybody says record labels are evil.
Yeah.
One of my favorite games I've ever played was Guitar Hero 3 on the PS2. I used to shred it in Guitar Hero. And the campaign, the story mode for that game is literally you and a couple of friends form a garage band, and then you get your first record deal, and the guy who you sign it with is actually the devil in disguise, because of course he is, because that's what record labels do. They're always up to some nefarious stuff. You hear 100 tales of, I only own 40% of my own music. Actually the record label gets most of the money for that. That was my father and my old friend Dennis and I went to go see Straight Outta Compton in the movie theaters when that came out.
Yeah.
About NWA and Eazy-E and Ice Cube and all them.
Uh-huh.
There was part of that where Ice Cube is eating McDonald's while Eazy-E and their manager are eating filet mignon, because the manager is getting all the money and he made a better deal with Eazy-E, but then the rest of NWA is getting scraps.
Okay.
And that's why Ice Cube left, and he recorded a couple of songs. He recorded one called No Vaseline, where the record label is with no Vaseline.
I see.
So
yeah, so that's why she's re-recording them, if you wanted to know, if you didn't already know. And so Speak Now is the next one that's being re-recorded that's coming out, and I'm pretty excited. Camera keeps dying. It said the battery was full, but then it would die. I think, unfortunately, and I know we talked about this before, that
weeks ago,
the little thing that holds the battery in died. It broke.
Like a latch.
Yeah, it was like a little latch that would go in and out, and we never got it fixed because the guy said it would be more risky to fix it, and if it still works, whatever.
Yeah, it's one of them over-engineered Japanese cameras, so it's way on the inside of the device, enough that it can fall off and break, but it's so small and so deep in there that you'd have to take the whole camera apart to fix it, and that's just not worth it.
But I think sometimes maybe the battery isn't in good. So then it says it's like it dies, but it has a full battery technically. It's just like maybe not in the right spot. I don't know. Anyways, Taylor Swift, Speak Now. I think it's a very kind of romantic album, and specifically very, I mean, Enchanted is on that album, and I think Back to December. Those are like two of my favorite songs. So when I was younger, we only really listened to country music because my parents in the car would just play the country music
99 The
radio.
Wolf or
Yes,
whatever.
99.9 The Wolf. It's a country station. So, of course, and like I'm in a small town in Maine, so we're all listening to Taylor Swift and some country stuff. And so her first few albums are more country. And Speak Now is kind of like in between country and pop. But some of her songs on that album were like really good, or really my favorite. So,
It's curious to me that you're excited for basically a remaster of an old album. Like, there's not going to be any new content on it, is there?
she is actually putting on some songs that she never released on it.
Oh, so there will be new stuff. So that makes sense to be excited. And I'm not saying that you can't be excited for her financial success. But like, you know, I was a little confused. Like, you're not getting any new content, but it seems like you are. You might be.
Yeah, plus, I don't know, like, it's just, I haven't listened to those songs in forever. And, like, yeah, I could technically just listen to them right now, but
It's more exciting to have the newer version of it.
yeah. And then you're not supporting the other company.
True. What else? My Smite game from 2 days ago.
Oh, boy. Oh, that actually was crazy. That's fair.
Monumental. Most of you, probably friends of mine, family, whoever, know that I love to play video games. We've talked about video games in this podcast before. The one that I have sunk the most hours into, I don't know if it's all time my most played game, but it might be. It's called Smite, and it's what's called a MOBA. It just means that there's 5 people in each team. If you've ever heard of League of Legends, it's like that. And a friend of mine, Ben, his girlfriend is who I almost mentioned a second ago. Melissa, is a massive Taylor Swift fan. So much that me and Ben like roast her for it sometimes. But we'll be in the middle of talking about like World War II, and she's like, "Oh my God, guys, Taylor Swift just uploaded to her Instagram." I'm like, Melissa, stop. But Ben is, among my friends, the only one who takes Smite as seriously as I do. It's like the only game that I will grind out the competitive ranked modes on. I like to think I'm pretty good at most video games, and some of them I'm better at than others. But Smite is the one that I like really think, yeah, I'm good at this game. So we've been grinding out ranked recently, and on Thursday there was a player on the other team in our ranked game who we recognized his name. We were like, I think that guy might be a former professional player because there was a pro league for this game.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, he had the the company who develops the game is called Hi-Rez. He had the official Hi-Rez employee tag on his name in the game. Because this man, he was a professional player and then he retired and now he helps develop the game. So he was on the other team in our game, and it was an extremely close, very stressful game that lasted about 45 minutes, but we ended up beating him. So finally, Ben and I felt like we got a little validation almost that, wow, we're good enough at this game that we can beat former professional players.
Yeah.
I don't know if we would beat a whole team of 5 pro players, but that guy's whole team was very good. And it was, I don't want to say it was an uphill battle, but it was a really close game, and we felt like we were high on life after we won that game. Man, that feeling
Still
was
riding the high.
still riding that. That feeling was incredible. That was the validation that I've been waiting for 5 years in that
Yeah,
game.
and I was in the middle of studying, which I was the one they were talking about him, so I looked him up. I looked up the username, and I was like, yeah. It says he was on EU United, which was like a pro.
They were actually one of my favorite pro teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, I remember you liked that team, and then he worked there now, and then he was like a mid laner or whatever.
Yeah, there's 5 different roles in the game. There is the map that you play on has 3 lanes, and there's a jungle in between the lanes. There's a short lane, a long lane, and then the one in the middle. The short lane is the one that I play in mostly. The title for that one is Solo Lane, because you're mostly in it by yourself. It's you and your opponent, and other people can come over, but generally they leave you alone. And you fight. That's my favorite one. Then there's the mid lane, which again has the mid laner. Simple explanation. Then there's the duo lane, again very simple. It has 2 players from your team on it, a support and a carry. And then the jungler roams around the jungle, and he comes to your lanes, and he'll support you by helping you kill the other guy in your lane so you can get experience and get your gold and level up and stuff. The roles that I would say are the most similar, like the people that play one often play the other, are mid and carry. Those are like your high damage, long range classes. They do different types of damage, but people who play one generally are pretty good at the other, or at least enjoy playing the other. He was a professional mid laner. He was playing carry in this game. However, the carry he was playing can also be played in mid. So overall, I would say he wasn't like messing around. He was definitely playing the thing that he's good at. He was playing super well. But my friend Ben was playing carry on our team, and at the end of the game, the pro player told Ben that he did well. So we were really feeling that one.
Yeah, and I remember because I was studying, but I was on the couch, so I was watching him a little bit, out of the corner of my eye, or I'd look over and see. And I thought you guys were gonna lose at first, because it was rough in the mid game, kind of early to mid game. It was looking rough, but then they managed to turn it around, so that was really cool. Because I know that you could be a pro player, but I was getting nervous that your team was kind of gooning you.
Well, I've actually never played against a pro player before, so I wasn't sure.
I know that, but I know you're good enough that you could.
Well, but thank you for the support, and I feel that way. However, it's one of those things where you don't know that if you're just a big fish in a small pond, or if you're actually a big fish when you jump into the ocean.
No, I knew.
So,
and I was worried that if you guys lost to their team, then you would think you weren't that good, but you are.
Well, now I feel like I have a badge of office, sorry, you see my business card, certified pro slayer, bro.
Yeah.
We won that game, baby. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm ready to play some more. I'm ready to go.
We were supposed to play last night, but again, I fell asleep.
We're going to play after we're done with this.
Jeez.
If you have it in you. If you don't have it in you, I'll play without you.
I want to sit out in the sun. It's so nice out.
Anyway.
Not that we have anywhere to sit, really.
We have chairs.
Yeah.
In the backyard.
Yeah.
Anyway. Thanks for watching.
Make sure you send us your breakfast.
Send us your breakfast.
And like the video and comment.
Subscribe.
Oh my god. We had 90 for a second there, and then someone must have unsubscribed. So we're still at 89. I know. We're still at 89, which is rough. So please subscribe.
And thank you for watching.
You can send us your breakfast to, well, if you're our friend, you can text it, or of course, again, you can submit it on Instagram to my Instagram, which I'll put down below. It's at Nikki_Gervais, I think. And yeah, we will not see you next week.
Unfortunately. Maybe we'll take some pictures. I'm sure it'll get rambunctious. Maybe we can edit them in the following week.
But we'll see you the week after.
Absolutely.
And then hopefully regularly.
So yeah, thanks. Bye.
Got any more to say?
Thanks, Saki, at our wedding. You know the lines. Conga line.
Wow.
One leg up. Okay. Alright. What number is this?
13.
13! Okay.
Welcome back.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
again.
jeez. Good me. Okay, hold on.
What year is it? 2023?
Yes.
Sorry.
Did you have a stroke?
I could have.